Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation on removing noise from signals using discrete Fourier transform. In this video, I am going to explain the two important techniques for removing noise from signals using DFT. Further, we carry out simulations using MATLAB. Discrete Fourier transform is one of the most powerful tools for digital signal and digital image processing. It transforms time domain signal into frequency domain signal. Using DFT, we can compute spectrum of a finite duration signal. There are a good number of applications of DFT. First one is the spectral analysis of signals. So we can find the frequency spectrum of the signal and we can do analysis of the frequency spectrum. And we can also draw the spectrogram of the signals. We can find frequency response of the system. So for a signal, input signal x of t, system impulse response h of t, output signal y of t, we will be getting y of t equal to x of t in convolution with h of t. In the DFT domain, we have x of omega is the Fourier transform of the input signal. H of omega is the frequency response of the system h of t, and y of omega is the output in the frequency domain. So we will be getting y of omega equal to x of omega into h of omega. So h of omega equal to y of omega by x of omega. So we can find frequency response. We can also do the convolution via frequency domain. So we are getting y of omega equal to x of omega into h of omega. So therefore we will be doing convolution in the frequency domain. And we have linear filtering for various filtering applications. Then we can do signal processing such as noise removal, signal compression, and we can carry out signal analysis such as ECG signal analysis, finding out the peaks, then carrying out the analysis of ECG and biomedical signals. We can analyze amplitude modulated signals. The time domain signal cannot be analyzed for AM and FM. Therefore, we draw the frequency spectrum of the AM or FM, and then we can find the how many frequencies are there, what is the bandwidth of the modulated signals. All those analysis you can carry out using Fourier transform domain. So we can do image processing. So applications such as image enhancement, image compression, noise removal, filtering on the noisy images, etc. The most important application is noise filtering on the signals as well as noise filtering on the images. And we can also carry out the transform domain technique for image watermarking using discrete Fourier transform. So image watermarking is a method that we are embedding a data which is invisible such that it can be used for copyright protection and identification authentication applications. Then we can go for speech signal analysis. We can calculate the spectral components and then we can analyze the properties of the speech for speaker recognition, speaker identification, speech analysis, etc. The general form of the signal transform is given by g of u equal to sigma x equal to 0 to n minus 1 t of u comma x into f of x, where f of x is the signal, x is the time variable, x varying from 0 to n minus 1. F of x is a n-point signal. We are transforming this n-point signal with the help of the kernel or the transformation function. So this transformation function is the function of both x and u, where u is the frequency variable in the transform domain. G of u is the transform domain. Since there are n points in the given signal and there are n frequency points in the transform domain. That is why when x is varying from 0 to n minus 1, we are getting frequency points u varying from 0 to n minus 1. So in order to compute this transform using MATLAB, we can go for a matrix implementation. G is the transform which is given by T into F. It can be easily implemented using MATLAB. And this general form we are making use of, and then finding out the DFT, discrete Fourier transform. In the DFT, we have the kernel du of x is given by the 1 by n e power minus j 2 pi into ux by n. The kernel is here is e power minus j 2 pi into ux by n, and this is the normalization factor. So we are replacing this exponential function in place of tu of x, we are getting the discrete Fourier transform. So signal f of x is translated into the Fourier coefficients where u varying from 0 to n minus 1. For every transform there exists the inverse signal transform. Here from the computed transform values g of u, we are getting back the signal reconstruction using this formula. So I of x comma u, it is the inverse kernel multiplied by the computed transform coefficients, and from coefficients varying from 0 to n minus 1, if you do summation, then we are getting the signal reconstruction. F of x is a signal, x varying from 0 to n minus 1, and for all the points in the frequency domain from u equal to 0 to n minus 1, we are doing summations of these transform coefficients multiplied by the inverse kernel. In the matrix form representation, it is given by f equal to t inverse into z. So we are making use of the inverse kernel multiplied by z. So by making use of this general form, we are getting the DFT by replacing this I of x comma u with the inverse kernel. The forward kernel is e power minus z. Now the inverse kernel is e power plus j. E power plus j 2 pi ux by n multiplied by g of u, and we are doing summation from 0 to n minus 1 to get back the reconstructed signal. The same concept can be extended for 2D discrete Fourier transform also. Here instead of a single summation, we have two summations, x equal to 0 to n minus 1, y equal to 0 to n minus 1, f of x comma y. It is a two-dimensional signal or an image. It is multiplied by forward kernel in the x direction, forward kernel in the y direction. E power minus j 2 pi ux by m into e power minus j 2 pi vy by n. F of u comma v is the DFT domain coefficients. Here u varying from 0 to m minus 1, v varying from 0 to n minus 1. Here f of x comma y is the image, x varying from 0 to m minus 1, y varying from 0 to n minus 1. Therefore, this image is of m by n size. So we are getting this f of uv is also m by n. From the computed f of uv values, we are getting back the original signal by making use of the inverse discrete Fourier transform. So it is multiplied by f of uv is multiplied by the inverse kernel in the x direction and multiplied by inverse kernel in the y direction. So e power j 2 pi into ux by m plus vy by n multiplied by the transform and summation u varying from 0 to m minus 1 and v varying from 0 to n minus 1, and this is divided by mn to get back the two-dimensional signal or an image. So in order to compute DFT effectively, we are going for a fast Fourier transform. Fast Fourier transform is a computationally efficient method for computing DFT. Here we are making use of the symmetry and periodicity property to reduce the number of computations, thereby the speed is increased. So FFT is a method for computing DFT effectively, thereby reducing the speed. This is done by decreasing the number of calculations needed to analyze a waveform. There are two algorithms for FFT. There is decimation in time FFT algorithm and decimation in frequency FFT algorithm. Here I would like to explain two important DFT based techniques for removing noise from signals using MATLAB code. First technique is based on computed DFT coefficients, and the second one is based on modifying the power spectral density. So let us discuss the first one, and then we carry out the simulations. So clear all commands. for clearing this command window, clear all, close all, CLC. Now let us generate the cosine signal. So step is 0.01, t equal to 0 to step to 1. The signal is from 0 to 1 in steps of 0.01. Signal is a siz variable, it is assigned to variable siz equal to cos of 2 pi into 20t. Now we add noise to the signal. So signal noise equal to original signal plus, so randomly distributed pseudo random noise is added by using the function RANDL, which is of 0 mean and standard deviation of 0.6. So we are getting the noisy signal. Now let us plot the original signal and the noisy signal first. So we are doing subplot 2, 1, 2 comma 2 comma 1, 2 rows 2 columns, first plot. So we are plotting the first signal, original signal, plot of t comma signal. Then we write title, original signal, x label is time, y label is amplitude. Now let us plot the noisy signal also. Subplot 2 comma 2 comma 2, second plot t comma sig noise. So title is noisy signal, x label, time, y label, amplitude. Now let us compute the DFT of noisy signal using FFT function. So this noisy signal is undergoing through the FFT operation. So that is assigned to FCAP. FCAP equal to FFT of signal noise. So now the Fourier transform computed values are starting from 0, but whereas the spectrum is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Therefore, we have to shift it from minus n by 2 to plus n by 2. That is why we are making use of spectrum shift functions. So we have n equal to length of t, n points in this. Then f shift is from minus n by 2 to n by 2 minus 1 multiplied by 100 by n. This 100 is nothing but 1 by t. So 1 by t is 1 by 0.0. And we have y shift. So y shift is FFT shift f cap. The computed FFT values of the noisy signal, it is shifted. Now we are plotting it, so that we will be getting the spectrum on both sides, negative side and positive side. So plot magnitude of the computed FFT values. Now subplot 2 comma 2 comma 3, plot f shift. This is the x-axis frequency values, and we are taking the absolute value of y shift. So then x label is frequency, y label is magnitude. It is the frequency response plot, magnitude plot. Title is magnitude value of FFT. Now let us see the significant coefficients present in FFT, and insignificant coefficient we are making it as 0. So we are using this function f equal to find ABS of f cap, the value less than threshold. If the value is less than threshold, we are making it as zeros. So the threshold is determined based on the observation of the frequency spectrum. So let us observe the frequency spectrum from this, then decide this threshold value. If it is less than 20, they are insignificant values, so we are making it as zeros. Now perform the inverse fast Fourier transform. We get a signal reconstruction, which is equal to IFFT of f cap. Then plot the reconstructed noise free signal. So subplot 2 comma 2 comma 4, fourth plot. We are plotting t comma significant signal reconstruction. Then write the title, reconstructed noise free signal, x level is time and y level is amplitude. Let us run this code and see the results here. And this is the original signal, which is a 20 Hz frequency, and this is corrupted with noise. So standard deviation of the random noise is 0.6 we have taken. This is a corrupted signal. We want to remove noise from this noisy signal. So we are calculating the frequency spectrum of this noisy signal, and then that frequency spectrum is displayed here. So for Fourier transform is we are having on either side 20 hertz and minus 20. So this is the frequency spectrum. So at 20 hertz there is a peak, and these corresponds to the noisy values. We have to determine the threshold here. So threshold is selected here. If the threshold value is less than 20, I selected 20 as the threshold. Threshold value is less than 20. We are making all these things as zeros. The noise components are zero, so only the spectral peak that is at 20 hertz is used. So we are making changes in the Fourier transform, and then the significant coefficient from the significant coefficients we are able to reconstruct back the signal. So this is the reconstructed signal, which is a noise free signal. So we are able to reconstruct the signal where the noise is removed from this reconstructed signal. So let us add some more amount of noise here and see the reconstruction. So let us add a standard deviation, noise standard deviation of 0.8 and run the code again. More amount of noise is added. So you will observe more smaller peaks are also there for noisy signal. And we are making use of the cutoff of threshold 20, and we are rounding all the coefficients zeros. And then with the significant coefficients we are able to reconstruct the signal back, and here the more amount of noise is there, noise filtering may be the small in this case. Now let us see the second one with the help of the power spectrum, that is power spectral density, clear-all, close-all, CLC. Then step is 0.01, the signal we are generating, same signal we are using 0 to 1 in steps of 0.01, signal equal to cos of 2 pi into 23, and we are generating the random noise for 0.6 standard deviation by using the function RANDN, and add this noise to the signal to get the noisy signal. Noise is the noisy signal. Now plot the original signal. We are doing subplotting, 2 rows, 2 columns. First plot is the original signal, title original signal, x level time, y level amplitude. We also plot the noisy signal. Subplot 2 comma 2 comma 2, second plot. Plot a comma sig underscore noise. Noisy signal is plotted. Title is noisy signal, x level time, y level amplitude. Now compute DFT of noisy signal. DFT is computed using the FFT. So n is length of t, and we are computing the FFT. F cap, the FFT values are assigned to F cap variable, FFT of sig underscore noise comma n. FFT function is used to compute the DFT values. So DFT values are from 0 to right side, positive side, to make it as from minus the negative frequencies to positive frequencies. We are shifting this frequency spectrum from minus n by 2 to n by 2 minus 1. So we are getting a y shift. Also f shift is for making the frequency axis from minus n by 2 to plus n by 2, then y shift to FFT shift of f cap. The amplitude values are also shifted correspondingly. Now compute the power spectral density. Power spectral density is computed by using the formula. This is the frequency response, that is Fourier transform values multiplied by conjugate of Fourier transform divided by n. So the transform values multiplied by conjugate of transform divided by n is the power spectral density. Now we display the power spectral density. Subplot 2 comma 2 comma 3. Plot f shift comma power spectral. Power spectral density is amplitude is with respect to f shift to frequency variables. Then we are giving title PSD of noisy signal. X level is frequency, Y level is magnitude. Now remove noise using power spectral density. Select significant frequencies. So here we are making use of cutoff. Cutoff equal to power spectral greater than 5. If the power spectral amplitudes are greater than 5, then we are making it as 1. This cutoff is a logical variable. If power spectral density is greater than 5, the values are 1. If it is less than 5, it is making the value 0. So we are setting the other power spectral values 0, only the significant values, that means the power spectral density greater than 5, they are used as the significant values, and then we are converting these power spectral values into a logical array consisting of zeros and ones. If power spectral values are greater than 5, you will be getting the cutoff value 1, otherwise cutoff value is 0. So from the significant values, we are multiplying it with the power spectral. This cutoff, logical cutoff one is multiplied with the power spectral values. Similarly, the DFT coefficients are also multiplied with the logical cutoff values. Now we are performing the inverse DFT of filtered time domain signal. Signal reconstruction equal to IFFT of f cap underscore filter. This is computed with a modified spectrum value. This 5 is selected by observing the power spectral density. The threshold, this we call it as a threshold. This threshold is selected based on the observation from power spectral density. So if the power spectral density is greater than 5, they are the significant components. From that we are able to recover this f cap filter, then variable, that is a modified spectrum here, modified power spectrum. Then we are computing the inverse Fourier transform of the modified power spectrum, and then we are plotting it as a fourth plot, 2 comma 2 comma 4. Then plot f shift power spectral filter, then give title PSD of the filtered signal, then we have X label, Y label. So let us run this code. And this is the original signal, which is of 20 Hz, and the noise is added, the random noise is added. So we computed PSD of the noisy signal. So this is PSD, it is a 20 Hz signal, we have peaks at 20 and minus 20. Through FFT shift, we got this frequency spectrum on either side. So 20 Hz is the signal frequency, and you have to set up the threshold value. Observe, we are observing this PSD of noise signal. So if you say make greater than 5, threshold I can make it as greater than 5. Greater than 5, the significant frequency components. Less than 5, insignificant frequency components. This threshold is based on how much amount of noise is added. More amount of noise is added, these noise spectral peaks are also approaching towards the threshold value. Then we have to determine the threshold value based on observation of this PSD of the noisy signal. So after modifying the power spectrum, how we are modifying the power spectrum? The significant values greater than 5 in this case, we are making it as multiplied by 1 with the actual frequency components of noisy signal, multiplied by 0 with the actual frequency components of the DFT values. So thereby this noisy spectrum is removed, and we have the pure 20 Hz signal, PSD filtered signal is obtained. Thereby we are able to remove the noise from the PSD. From the computer values also, we are making the insignificant value 0, and we are able to recover back the original signal with a less amount of noise. So let us run this code with the another noise value here. We have taken 0.6 standard deviation. Let us take 0.8. More amount of noise is added. Then run this code again. Some more amount of noise is added. So the spectral peaks for noisy signals we can see here, and we are setting up the threshold here, and we are able to remove the noisy spectral peaks, and from these wanted spectral peaks we are able to recover back the original signal. I hope this video is useful to you.